So I'm over here at Succor Creek, and if you don't know where Succor Creek is, it's like kind of north of Leslie Gulch. So if you know where Leslie Gulch is, I'm like right there. Anyways, I'm looking for a spot, a camp spot. So right now I'm in between these rocks and trees, and then Succor Creek is actually right there. But it is, I don't know if you can tell, it is currently 81 outside. I'm feeling the air right now too as I'm driving around. If it doesn't drop, I'm probably gonna leave and try to find somewhere else to camp at, because I don't know if you guys know, but once it's like 80 degrees and you try to camp outside somewhere, especially around this area with no shade and it's basically in the desert, it sucks. Like, you can barely sleep. But yeah, so if it doesn't drop temperature, I'm gonna see if I can find another place to stay. So this is camp. You have, I don't know, the whole canyons over there, and then you have all those like giant rocks around you, and then all of this kind of around. So really cool spot. I did have Starlink open because I don't know if I wanted to stay here, but yeah, I mean, the good news is the wind is picking up, so there's a slight breeze going on. I do like that they put these little flags that just say no fires, because I believe there's a fire ban going on. Same thing with Washington. Washington has a fire ban going on too, and people still be starting fires. But I don't think people know that there are fire bans and stuff. So it's nice that they put flags there. If it gets way too hot the next morning, which I anticipate it's gonna do, I'm probably just gonna leave and head out to like a Starbucks or something. Anyways, I think I'm gonna get set up, so. It actually looks like it's gonna rain here pretty soon, and I don't know if you guys ever camped out here in the Owahis, but so like when it gets muddy around here, it sucks. If you guys been following me for a while, you might know that I have a desk set up in the front seat, so I just work out of here sometimes and just have my laptop. So this is probably yesterday's video that's rendering. I did upgrade this, so this is now not some cheap Amazon one. This is actually from Ram Mount, which is really nice, because my biggest problem with the one I previously had was that this moved a lot, as well as this table moved a lot. So I mean, it still moves, but you would definitely have to shake it. While on the other one, the one I had before, the Amazon one, this entire tray just swung every time I drove around, and there was no way to tighten it. There's a bunch of stuff, levers here that you can adjust down here as well, and then the height. It's the desk setup. So I still might leave this spot and head into town and probably head somewhere a little more cooler than this, maybe along the river somewhere. I do have a ton of food, and I did buy a lot of groceries because I knew I was going to be out here for a while. My biggest issue right now is not to eat my entire food supply until next week, which is Labor Day weekend. But anyways, today's lunch is probably Japanese curry. Oh, after editing the video, I realized that the part where I talked about this whole entire trip kind of cut out, or at least the audio did. So the whole goal of this is that we are heading out to Hell's Canyon out in Oregon, and then we're going to cut through Idaho and do a bunch of things. I'm putting all my faith in Jacob, who you've seen on the channel, I think once or twice before, to plan this entire trip out. So going to be a lot of things, I think, to do and see. And there's going to be maybe like 8 of us too. So the plan is for me to head out a little early to secure the camp spot, the first camp spot, because I have the flexibility to do that, to work from home and work on the road and stuff. Pretty much the same thing exactly a year ago from today, where we head out to Alvord Desert, Leslie Gulch, and somewhere else. I forgot. So outside of just me cooking and driving around and stuff, which I don't know, some of you guys might find that entertaining, but sometimes I like to see behind the scenes stuff. I went over this in my last video, but they sent me this trail case over for some photos, and I think I'm in the perfect area to take some photos of the case. And then they sent a couple like sample photos of what they're thinking of, and I think this is the perfect spot. So I'm gonna get set up, I'm gonna open this up, and I'll, I guess, walk you through how I take photos and stuff. Go over my settings too if you guys care. So when I'm looking for photos, generally I don't like to go super wide because you get to see everything. I like to zoom in. So when you zoom in, especially on a lens, camera lens, you have a compression effect, so the background appears a lot closer than it really is. So as of right now, there's the case. If I go a little lower and then zoom in, the background kind of comes into the case. Instead of me moving back, I think I'm just gonna roll this down. So I guess the cool thing with this, it comes with wheels. This I think might be good enough. I'm at 50 mil right now. If I go down to 35, this is kind of what I'm seeing. This is kind of where I want to be at, especially with the foreground and then the background. I think around the 35 mil will get me kind of what I'm looking for. I think 50 might be a good spot as well, and then 35 is pretty much everything you'll want. What I kind of like to do too is when it comes to product photography, there's got to be something on here that I usually like to have it zoomed in all the way. So like the netting right here, I think it's a pretty neat feature about this on the lid organizer. It's a pretty sturdy net. When it comes to photos, this is something I want to capture along with the logo over here. Oh, I didn't even take the plastic off. It's okay, I'll just leave it. But these handles right here for this little compartment is pretty nice as well. And then obviously these latches might have its own photos. So what I normally like to do is set the camera on time lapse and just have it trace me or follow me, and then I just go off and do my thing, and the camera is just gonna continue taking photos. I normally only get like 2 or 3 photos out of it, but it gets the job done. So maybe one shot of me putting this in the 4Runner, and then I don't know, call it a day. I want to do the photo case, kind of set it up right here and have my kind of like right here, and then have my lights all turned on. And then I think the photo that I'm looking for is maybe grabbing my telephoto lens. Normally, I don't have any issues with Starlink, which is right there on top of the tent, but this giant ice wall over here is blocking part of the signal, and I'm kind of having trouble taking calls at the moment, at least like screen sharing and all that stuff. So I think I'm gonna move like down that way, because I know that way is just a giant wide open area. Speaking of having Starlink on and all that stuff, if you guys are ever interested in this kind of lifestyle, I have my fridge currently running Both the Starlink and the fridge is currently pulling in like 55 to 67 watts right now. And I am at 26%. That is me keeping Starlink on basically at 8 a.m. It's like 2 o'clock right now. The fridge is running. To be fair, I had my lift gate or whatever you call this open half the time, so the fridge was, I don't think, ever up to temperature. I also have the smaller EcoFlow that's hooked up right now to my computer, and then this one is currently at 46%, and then my computer is actually fully charged. So that is not even one whole day. That's maybe like half the day right now. If I had solar panels, which I do, I just didn't bring it, but at the very least keep the smaller EcoFlow topped off, because that one isn't really a big battery. But like I said, if you're looking to do like this kind of lifestyle and like work on the road and stuff, just know that that's kind of what you're looking at. Maybe half a day all your energy is probably going to be depleted. I know after maybe an hour or two of driving, I'll get most of my energy back with the alternator charger. I've done this before. I played this game before, so I kind of understand where I am at with battery level and stuff. I'm probably going to head out. Haven't decided where I'm going to go yet, but most likely it's going to be Boise just to recharge on a bunch of things, and then I'll just figure it out as I go.